Welcome back. This is day 12 of the Daily Drop series on the Unjaded podcast. I'm so happy to have you here today. We're going to be talking about, do you have room for your expansion in your business? And this stems from something I'm in response to as a manifesting generator, but something that happened to me over the weekend that was very curious. I was able to just kind of sit back and be the observer and think, oh, isn't this interesting? There's some juiciness here for me and for you as my listener. So I want to unpack it with you today. Before we get into it, I just want to remind you quickly that the 3-day live event is coming up where I am going to get in the room with you and actually help you to create content that brings you paying clients. The link is in the show notes for you to register there. It is a completely free event. Okay, so now into the episode. We talk a lot about wanting to grow our audiences. We talk a lot about, oh, if only I had so many followers on Instagram, I'm at 100 followers. Well, if I had 1,000 followers, I'm at 1,000 followers. If I just had 5,000 followers, if I just had 10,000 followers, everything would be easier, right? And I know that that's not true. More followers can mean more time management that we need. So this is what happened to me. I'm always preaching Kevin Kelly's 1,000 true fans. I don't care two hoots how many followers someone has, because I have worked with women who have upwards of 10,000 followers who are making $0 in their business. True story. And I've worked with someone who has about 300 followers who's making 6 figures in her business. Another true story. So follower count to me really doesn't mean anything. Beyond that, you can buy followers through robotic style accounts, but we have this thing where we feel like we need to have more followers. And the thing with more followers means you're going to have to spend more time online the more followers that you have, or hire someone else to do it for you if it's important to you to be involved and engaged with your community, which I'm guessing if you're listening to this podcast, then it's important for you to be engaged with your community, right? So on Friday, I had a post scheduled, and it was all about a big conditioner in human design, which is the unconscious sun. And I said, pop the gate of your unconscious sun, and I'll unpack it with you. And at the time of this recording, I'll put the screenshot in the show notes for you. At the time of this recording, let me grab my notes. I have 66 comments on that post, 20 likes, and 4 DMs. When I first looked at it on Friday, now Fridays in my world are Mimi days. I have my grandkids on Fridays and I am not online very much at all. If I am, it's when my husband is home and it's just for a minute to post something to my stories. So I looked at it Friday afternoon after I dropped them off, and it was like, 4:30 or 5 o'clock at night. And I looked at it and there were 25 comments. And I started reading the comments, and these were like deep conversations that people wanted to have. And I thought, oh shit, holy, I'm going to be here for at least an hour answering these comments. And I wanted to make sure that I gave each person the time that they deserved. I feel like if you take the time to comment or to DM me and you want to have a conversation, then at this stage in my business, I want to have a conversation with you. Nothing pisses me off more than when I message someone and they don't have the courtesy to message back. I don't care how big you are. Either you or someone in your team needs to be answering your DMs or your comments as far as I'm concerned. And at this stage in my journey, it's really important that I'm the one answering the comments because I am a 4th line profile, right? I'm a 2-4 profile. My community means everything to me. You mean everything to me as you are here listening to my podcast, as you are interacting with me on Instagram, on my email list, anywhere that we are together, you matter to me. And I need you to know that you matter to me. Back to the topic of the show. I sat down and I took about an hour and a half and I responded thoughtfully to each one of those comments. And then you know what happens, right? The comments start coming back after those. So I stayed online for a little bit longer and went through them. And I haven't been back again, but I know that that's on my list for tonight, is to sit down and go back through those comments again, because there's, probably 10 or 15 there that I haven't gotten a response from me again. So the reason that I'm unpacking this with you here is that I would love to invite you to do a little bit of the internal work around, can I hold my expansion? Because if you are determined to grow your Instagram following, if you are sitting there and you have 500, 1,000, 1,500 followers and you're like, my God, if I could just get to 5,000, 10,000, everything would be grand. And in the next breath, you are saying, I hate spending time on social media. Social media is a time suck. I'm wasting time. It's a black hole. Nobody ever listens to me. Those two things can't go together. And if you never want to spend time on social media and you never want to give back to your people, or you resent the time that you have to give back, then you're not ready to hold that expansion in your business. And this goes for more than just Instagram. Instagram was just kind of an example that was staring me in the face this week because I was like, oh yeah, because I have done a lot of work. I worked with a coach for the entire year from when I was 51 to 52. We started into our contract session with me wanting to increase sales in my business because he's a sales coach. He's also an energetic coach. He's absolutely amazing. And after about 3 months, it was time to resign. And we had done so much deep work that I said to my husband, okay, this is no longer about my business. This is about healing that I need to do for myself. So 52 was a big birthday for me. My father was diagnosed with dementia at the age of 52, and life as we knew it stopped. So for me, turning 52 was huge, and I'll link that episode that I did in the show notes for you. That's why I'm so determined for you to be able to live your purpose, because it matters. It matters that you do what you came here to do before you run out of time. And so the inner work is as important as the outer work. If you're not ready to hold that level of success, if you're not ready to hold that expansion, be it dollars in your bank account, followers on your Instagram, people who join your email list, people who join your courses and your programs, we have this fantasy that, okay, my next launch is going to be a 6-figure launch. Maybe you've only ever done a $1,000 launch and you think you're going to do a $100,000 launch. How many people does that mean you need to hold? And can you hold them? Because that's sometimes where I think people get it wrong. And please know that wrong is not a judgment on you. It's just, one of these things is not like the other. Like it doesn't go together. If you are not able to be in a room and hold 50 people and keep your sanity and keep yourself self-contained, then how can you hold a $100,000 launch? If you never want to go on Instagram and engage with your people, how can you hold 5,000 followers who are going to be messaging you, who are going to be commenting, who are going to be wanting something from you? So the work that I'm going to invite you to do today is some inner work around how do you want to hold people? And how are you going to show up for your people in a way that honors you and honors the relationship that these people, these fans of yours, you're their Oprah, right? Honors what these people want from you. Because that is a magical place. When you can come to that place where you can actually hold your business as it grows, it's phenomenal what happens on the other side of that. You have got this, my friend.